Hello, welcome to Unfilter'd podcast, where we talk about things going on with me, sometimes what's going on with you, and other events around the world. I'm your host, Midwest Mama, and today I have an exciting episode for you. Let's get into it, guys. Something I want to talk about is the drones. Again, I know I already talked about it, but my issue right now is we were promised answers. Trump promised to release the information on January 21st. It is now January 24th. It is Friday. He was inaugurated on Monday, and we still don't have any answers. I get it. It's only like 4 days, okay? 3 days past what he said or whatever. I don't care. Don't make promises if you cannot deliver. It's pretty simple. Don't tell us you're going to do something at a specific day and time and then not do it, because now you just look like a fucking liar. So anyways, like, it may not be that deep. I don't even know. But what is that deep is lying to me specifically and to everyone. Like, again, if you can't complete the promise, don't make the promise. It's simple. You could have just kept your fucking mouth shut, but here we are. So on that topic, I have some things that so Trump had said previously that he believed that Biden's administration knew more about the rash of drone sightings than they had let on. And then, obviously said he would release reports within a day of taking office. He took questions from reporters on Monday and was asked if the public should be concerned. He said no. He said he would like to find out what it is and tell the people. And then he addressed the chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and asked her to find out what that was immediately. So that's fun. So he said he was going to do it. He didn't do it. He still hasn't done it. And apparently has somebody else doing it, looking into it. Definitely pretty sure that I heard reports that he already knew what it was. Anyways, let's talk about Susie Wiles for a moment. Susie Wiles is the 32nd White House Chief of Staff. She is the first female White House Chief of Staff. She's from Florida. She worked for Ron DeSantis starting in 2018, I believe, and later described her experience of working for Ron DeSantis as the biggest mistake of her entire career. I think everybody's pretty familiar with who that is. She also co-chaired Donald Trump's 2016 and 2024 campaign. So she co-chaired the 2016 campaign. Then she got involved with Ron DeSantis. It was the worst mistake of her career. Then she got back onto Donald Trump's campaign in 2024. And the article I read didn't state when this happened, but she had previously served as CEO of Trump's leadership PAC Save America. I don't know anything about that, to be honest. So that's who Susie Wiles is. That is supposedly getting us this information on the drones. Where is the fucking information? I would really like to know. I have another article here. So this is a quote. Not entirely sure what day this was said before the inauguration. I do know that. He said, "We're going to find out on the 21st. You have to give me a little time for the inauguration, but shortly thereafter, we'll give you a report on it. We'll tell you exactly what it is." They know, and it's very strange that they are not talking about it. Where's the report? If they knew, then you now know. I don't give a fuck about the JFK files or the Martin Luther King files or I don't remember what the other one was, Robert Kennedy. Like, that's great, actually. I think it's great to declassify things, but it's kind of pointless when the things you're declassifying are nobody that's involved in that's even alive. Like maybe a handful of people, and they're so old that they couldn't stand trial. If Joe Biden wasn't fit for trial, but he was fit to run the country, then I very seriously doubt that anybody who's still alive that may be mentioned in those declassified files is fit to stand trial or go to prison for their crimes. I would like to declassify the information about the drones because that's pertinent. It's relevant. It's, I think, still happening. I'm not entirely certain. Again, I've told you this before. I live in Indiana. I don't live in California with the fires. I don't live in New Jersey with the drones. If I had money, I would go see these things, though, with my eyeballs. Because all it sounds like to me is a whole bunch of government bullshit. Okay, so that is really all I have to say about the drones. But it is very concerning that nothing has been released. Nothing has been said. I haven't looked at the news yet today. But as of 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 124, nothing has been said that I've seen. So I will scour the internet and take another look. It's very concerning. Again, I'm not telling you my political opinions. I'm not telling you who I agree or don't agree with. I'm just trying to talk about things that I see from either side that are not making sense. Now, if I would have started this podcast last year, you probably would have heard me talk a lot of shit about Joe Biden, and that's fine. Now you're going to hear me talk a lot of shit about Trump. It's the whole system for me. It's not one side or the other. It's the whole system. It's just fucked. I don't like it. And I do have some personal opinions. A lot of it's just very weird. Elon Musk being involved and the whole thing with him, it's just bizarre. I have said for at least 8 years that I believe, me personally, I think, didn't get this information from anywhere, right here, that I think that Elon Musk is the Antichrist. And I know that a lot of you probably think that's insane and you don't believe me, and you don't have to believe me, actually. There's nothing to believe. It's my opinion. But I see more and more signs, like evidence of that all the time. Like maybe you're not religious, and that's totally fine. I'm not really religious. I have read the Bible, believe there's a God. I feel like I'm right with God, just that my God maybe look a little differently than what the Christian faith would. And that's fine with me. I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about my beliefs. They're mine, my personal beliefs, my ideas, my opinions. Nobody else needs to weigh in on that. But I do believe certain elements of the Bible, Revelation being one of them, is a topic that consumes my mind, you guys, actually. Like, I watch apocalyptic shows and movies, like, it's my favorite genre, okay? And it's just all extremely fascinating. And a little bit nerve-wracking, but not like live in fear, not like hide under my desk. Just like kind of more like sit back in awe and be like, what the fuck is happening? Wait, I knew this was gonna happen. So I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. The whole thing is still bizarre. Either way, gotta have my coffee. I absolutely would die without coffee, I think. Like, yeah, dying of decaffeination. Like, if the doctor ever tries to tell me I can't drink coffee, dead. If I ever get stuck in a hospital and they won't give me coffee, dead. Fucking dead. So, yeah, gotta have the coffee. I'm gonna have to look at this other thing that looked interesting. I'm not sure what it is. Stargate, maybe, or something like that. I'm gonna have to look at that and get back to you because it sounds interesting just from the name. So I did a little research on the Stargate, that is what it's called, project, and so the Stargate project it is just interesting. So I guess President Trump announced the Stargate project, I guess on Tuesday, so the day that he was supposed to release information on the drones. Instead, he announced this Stargate project, which is AI. It's a $500 billion AI venture from OpenAI, SoftBank, which is, I think, a Japanese bank, and Oracle, promising that it would ensure the future of technology. Elon Musk, ironically, is not in support of this. He is criticizing this project heavily. Evidently, he has some beef with the CEO of OpenAI. So not surprising. I mean, a bunch of billionaires got issues with each other. But, as some of you probably know, Stargate is also the name of a science fiction movie and TV show about portals that transport people to other galaxies. So that's just weird and kind of interesting, and I don't understand what is happening. Like, we live in the future. But not like the cool future. It's more like the what the fuck future. It's not intended to be intergalactic. That doesn't mean it won't somehow become that. They're saying that this will help people's lives. It will solve many issues with the power of AI. The Open AI guy, I think that's the same as ChatGPT, or OpenAI owns ChatGPT, but his name is Altman. He says he thinks this will be the most important project of this era. So it has the backing of OpenAI, Oracle, and Japanese company SoftBank. So maybe it's not a bank, it's just a company. SoftBank is promising an initial investment of $100 billion. but the goal is to ramp that investment to $500 billion within Trump's current term. Economist John Higgins is quoted saying, Donald Trump's ringing endorsement of Stargate is another shot in the arm for artificial intelligence in the early days of his second presidency. Whatever that means. Let's tie this back to Revelation. I don't know, that one statement just struck me as odd because if you know anything about Revelation, there's a lot of correlation between what's happening and what's written. And calling this a shot in the arm, it almost seems like a tell. Like, I don't know. What do you think? If you know what I'm talking about, what do you think? They're going to construct a bunch of data centers. There are already some under construction in Texas, Abilene, 500,000 square feet each. It says they will pursue projects that highlight AI's ability to transform healthcare, stating that the tools provided by OpenAI and SoftBank are helping to develop a cancer vaccine. This is a quote by Larry Ellison from Oracle. He said, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test, and using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancer that is seriously threatening the person. Once we gene sequence that gene tumor, you can vaccinate the person against that cancer, and you can make that mRNA vaccine robotically using AI within 48. I have a lot of thoughts. They're not completely organized thoughts, so I'm not going to share them. Trump is claiming that this venture will create over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately. OpenAI, in a statement on its website, said Stargate will create hundreds of thousands of American jobs. This is everything, including building the data centers to operating the facilities once they're built. So we'll see. Personally, kind of think that AI is going to cause people to lose their jobs. I mean, I think that there's value in it, but have you never watched a movie? I guess I watched too many movies, specifically end of the world movies, where AI and robots fucking kill everyone. Have you guys never watched a movie? Because I'm pretty sure I saw this in a movie, and it didn't go very well for humans. So we'll see how that goes. So SoftBank, as I mentioned, is a Japanese company. And they're saying that this highlights how Trump is not hell-bent on excluding foreign firms from participating in America's quest for dominance in AI, as long as they're headquartered in countries that are close allies of the US. Cool. If it's an American company, shouldn't we, have Americans at the top? I, again, see the value of having Japan on the roster for this company, but it seems counter to other things that have been said. I'm not anti-other countries, for the record. There's just a lot of confusion for me because I feel like there are conflicting statements being made. They just are about different things, but the root of it is the same thing. I guess if you're in a position of high enough power, you can just do whatever the fuck you want and say whatever the fuck you want, and nobody holds you accountable. There's no checks and balances, and I guess that just is the way of things. So about this feud, Musk has a public feud with OpenAI and Altman, alleging in a lawsuit that the company and its CEO violated OpenAI's original mission statement by putting profits over benefiting humanity. Musk actually helped found OpenAI in 2015, but then he broke away from the company, claiming that the AI firm had veered away from its founding agreement that it would use its technology to benefit the public and that it would open its technology for public use. I don't know about the legitimacy of that. I have no idea, but I'm just giving you the information. Wikipedia says the Stargate term dates back to 2024 when OpenAI and Microsoft started developing a $100 billion AI supercomputer. I don't see anything that could go wrong there. I guess Elon Musk has a competing AI. It's called XAI. I don't know anything about that. So yeah, that's all I'm really seeing in these two articles that I pulled up. I don't know, guys. I just feel like there's a lot of crazy shit going on. There was crazy shit going on before, still crazy shit going on now. It is just a wild fucking time to be alive. I cannot imagine how people who are 100 years old are looking at all these things that are happening. They must think they're in the fucking fifth dimension, because what? I'm only 45 and I feel like I'm in some other dimension. Oh my God. Also yesterday, this is something we'll have to talk about in a future episode, but yesterday I watched a reel about how the CIA had declassified a 20-page report on astral projection. I do believe I heard something about that elsewhere, so I'm going to have to look more into that. But very interesting indeed. Doesn't require drugs, just the use of frequencies, which I've done a little bit of research into, like binaural beats and the pineal gland and all that, but it's very cuckoo. So, all right, let's get into something a little lighter. I wanted to give you guys some words of the day. I did that last week. I am going to give you my favorite word on my list of words that I've made up because my immediate family, we use this word like it's a real word. Like we'll use it in a sentence to people and they look at us like, what the fuck did you just say? So anyways, the word is flirn. Flirn means a combination of forlorn and grumpy. So when you're just kind of generally disagreeable, that's when you're flirn. When you're just like grumbling under your breath, you're flirn. And we say that shit all the time. Flirny, flirn, yeah. That's the word. It's our family word. We love it. We use it all the time. So please feel free to use it. I am not going to give you a face swap meme of the day because I am going to start putting this podcast on an audio only format, which makes it very hard to explain the meme or the humor of the face swap itself because they can't see you. So we're not going to do that. Well, guys, that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. Thank you for tuning in to my Unfiltered podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your friends. Follow me on Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and more coming soon. Until next time, love you, bye.